This lady accidentally had one of the most successful careers in animation. This is Kathy Altieri, and her career is insane. Just check out her IMDb. She started out as a background painter at Disney on Little Mermaid and The Lion King. She left Disney for DreamWorks, which allowed her to level up her career even more. She was the art director for Prince of Egypt and Spirit, and eventually became the production designer for How to Train Your Dragon. With all of her success, it's crazy to think at the beginning she didn't even want to get in the animation industry.
I didn't want to go into animation. I still am trying to get out of it.
If she didn't even like cartoons, why did she do it? Well, way back in 2010, she explained, and her reason is super relatable.
I didn't want to go into animation. I just wanted a check at the end of the week. I mean, I'm honest. I was trained as an illustrator. I wanted to be a children's book illustrator, and I tried to do that, and it didn't work so well for me because I didn't have any money. Animation was the first thing that gave me a check at the end of every week. It's been a really good place for me to grow into my artistry and kind of who I am accidentally. So now I do my own art on the side because, like Ellen, I'm tired of looking at the computer all day long.
Kathy worked on some of the best animated movies, and her career is very inspiring. In this video, we're going to learn what she did as a production designer, how she tried to change the look of Toothless.
We brought it up. We said, just so you know, it looks kind of like Stitch, he said.
We're going to see how she hilariously roasts DreamWorks as a company.
We kind of went, really, DreamWorks? You're going to call it DreamWorks? Okay, fine.
And then also offer some really good advice for any female animators wanting to jump into the industry.
I kind of want to address in a nanosecond what it's like to be a woman.
So let's get into it.
I want to give a shout out to 21 Draw. If you don't know, 21 Draw offers online courses and books on how to be a better artist for students at all skill levels. And all their courses are taught by some of the best artists in the world. You can take classes on character design, animation, background design, even promoting your stuff on social media. It's fantastic. Check out 21 Draw with the link below to help support the channel.
My name's Kathy Altieri. I've been working in the animation industry for 27 or 28 years, something like that. I've never been fired. I've never been laid off. Yeah! It's great. I went to UCLA for a couple years. I went to Art Center after I figured out that I wanted to be a professional artist. I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. I just knew that I wanted to get paid money and I wanted to do art. There are some of you guys here who are artists like this. I never was one of them. I'm still not one of them. In animation, a production designer at DreamWorks anyway will start with the beginning of the film and will escort the visuals of the film all the way through to the final color timing. So we'll be involved with part of the with the early development work. We'll see to it that all the sets and the characters are designed and built well. Once the scenes are animated, they go into lighting. We oversee the lighting with the VFX soup and a DP if there's one, and then escort the whole thing through to the very end process. So it's a really overseeing of the visual look of the film from beginning to end. Everything that we do in terms of designing a film is the same thing that you would do designing a single image. So in an image, you've got an area of interest, you've got composition, you've got where you want to lead the eye. In a film, you have the same thing, but it's from the heart and it's from the emotion. So we want to lead your heart and we want to lead your emotions through the story that's being told. All the visual choices that we make have to support that emotional beat. So if something, for example, is a dramatic action chase sequence, you're going to find a lot of sharp edges and diagonals, a lot of contrast for visual activity, a lot of contrast in the music and the other supporting things that go on to support the chase sequence. If you have something else that's supposed to feel nurturing and safe and warm, it's going to have a whole different set of shape choices, color choices, and tone choices. My career trajectory has been more towards management and supervising people, which means that my skill shift has gone from doing art all day long to not doing art all day long. And that's huge for an artist, right? I mean, I'm trained as an artist and I started my career as a background painter and now I do know, did you see any of my artwork up there? No, you didn't, because I'm responsible for the look of the film. But when that comes to my day-to-day job, what I did on Dragon was sat in meetings all day, every day. Intellectually really stimulating and exercises a whole bunch of kind of artist paths, because I'm talking to artists all day long. I'm talking about what things should look like and why they need to feel this way and how to get the emotion across and how to get, why the specular highlight on this needs to be different from the specular highlight on that and why the color needs to move this way and that way. But in terms of physically doing stuff, I haven't been doing much, and that's been a real kind of a gift and a struggle for me. So what I've had to do to counteract that is to up the ante on my own personal art. So my personal art has gotten a lot stronger. My art skills have gotten a lot stronger and more more confident and more honest and more artistic than they ever were, because they used to be commercial art skills, and now they're, no, I'm not going to show them to anybody yet because they're really personal skills. So that's how I've dealt with that, is that my income is now derived from this, and my artistry, not so much looking at computer images on the screen, that has to come on the weekends and evenings or early morning or whenever I'm slinging the paint around. That's been my shift.
She has a really interesting perspective on the animation industry. What I like about her mindset is that she's able to understand the difference between being an artist creatively and an artist professionally. She found a way to get paid to make art, but also understands that her professional work is different from her creative work, and is more than happy to give the producers what they want. For example, when they were designing Toothless for How to Train Your Dragon, she had some concerns.
How many of you guys saw Lilo and Stitch? Okay, yes, this looks like Stitch. Chris knows it. We brought it up. We said, just so you know, it looks kind of like Stitch. He said, doesn't, this is the dragon. I said, great. Just so you know, it looks like Stitch. He said, this is the dragon. Great. We'll take our check on Thursday and move on.
Sometimes in the animation industry, you have to put away your artistic ego for the sake of your job. Another example of this comes from the early days of working at DreamWorks.
I work at DreamWorks. That is the ugly... A word about working in a studio. That is, in my opinion, one of the ugliest logos ever designed. I'm not supposed to say that. I work at DreamWorks. I love working at DreamWorks. I've been there for 15 years. What happened with that thing is that when the studio was formed and when they came up with the whole cloud thing, and I don't know if that was Spielberg and Katzenberg or where the cloud thing came up and the boy with the fishing line, the name itself was, you know, we kind of went, really, DreamWorks? You're going to call it DreamWorks? Okay, fine. When they came up with the with the letters and the words, they called me in because I'm a color expert, and they said, what do you think? And I said, I think it looks like you're going to make juvenile films. Are you making children's films? And they said, no, we're not going to make children's films, but they should appeal to kids. I said, well, to me, just that logo says you're going to be making kids' films. I said, I would recommend just a nice, you know, whatever, all blue or all white or all whatever. And it went through all the levels of approval, and they said, no, this is exactly what Steven Spielberg wants. So, my apologies for the logo. I had nothing to do with it. I tried. Questions like, what advice do you have for upcoming talent? It's her list. I mean, my list is you have to be reliable, you have to show up on time, you have to be pleasant to work with, you have to do like the best job you possibly can, you have to be pleasant and agreeable to work with. My God, that's the same list. That's my list, though.
Wait a minute, it's mine first.
No, that's
I'm
mine.
sorry.
That's mine. I kind of want to address in a nanosecond what it's like to be a woman, like to be female, and what that's like. And for me, I feel it in terms of, it goes the same. It doesn't have to be a gender thing. It can be a cultural thing. It can be a temperament thing. You can be slightly more soft-spoken or shy. That's a more feminine quality. I'm soft-spoken, shy, female. I'm American, so I've got, you know, a certain expectation that I'm going to be like this. But you see a lot of other cultures where, you know, it's hard for people to express themselves, and that's where I feel the womanness of what I do. And the advice that I would give anybody who recognizes that quality in themselves is that you're going to be surrounded by a lot of big, loud, strong egomaniacs. And you're going to have to hold your own. And you're going to have to hold your own energetically. So it's an energy that you project, and it's a muscle that you can practice. So if you're used to being and trained to be sweet, submissive, and quiet, and you feel a little bit like you're getting bullied on or stepped on or pushed around a little bit, you can exercise the push-back muscle. You can exercise your posture. You can exercise the tone of your voice and how loudly you speak. And you have to learn new skills, like when I was growing up around the dinner table, we were taught that talking over someone is rude and impolite and it's not to be done. My professional success relies now on stepping on other people's sentences. Would you please talk?
And you cannot take that home with you. That practice becomes a problem.
Taking it home.
Oh, yeah. And then you can't take that home either. You can't be the same woman on the job as you can at home, ever. You have to figure out a way to strip down those work clothes and that work boss persona of confident, aggressive, I'm going to meet your energy with mine, I'm right, I'm the boss, I'm a strong creative artist, I have a vision, with, great idea, what would you like for dinner? But we can, well, everybody can do it. It's not just we as women, we can do it, but everybody can do that. You learn how to chameleon your way into your life.
I love her sense of humor. I think her art is really inspirational, and her point of view is something that I hope more people can understand about working in animation. In the comments below, let me know if you think she was right about this logo situation. I never noticed it, but now that I look at it, yeah, the logo does look pretty childish. If you want to see more quick videos of animation inspiration, check out these, and I'll see you guys in the next one.